This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto, the heroic mechanical warrior, part of the 2000X cartoon collection. And this guy is huge. I mean, this is crazy how big this guy is in this package right now. Man, it is just nuts. But let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the box here. On the side, we get a headshot of him. Nothing particularly special there. And on the other side, we just see him as a full body shot with his arm gun and a cannon on his shoulder. And finally, when we get to the back, we see this image of Roboto fighting all of Skeletor's weird skeleton army creations from the show. I think they actually did make that figure in 2000X as part of the Slime Pit, maybe? But I could be wrong. I don't remember a lot of the 2000X stuff. Also, we do see Triclops up at the top with a remote control of some sort. And it's as seen on the episode called Roboto's Gambit. And if I remember correctly, Roboto was built to be like a chess-playing robot. And I think he armored himself up. I don't think Man-at-Arms designed this armor for him, but it's been a long time. And really, one of these days, I need to go back and rewatch that series because it was great. We can equip weapons. And continuing apparently the trend of just showing other deluxes now on the deluxe packages, we have Ram Man, the heroic human battering ram, Clawful, the warrior with the grip of evil, and Roboto, the heroic mechanical warrior. Let's go ahead and open them up. I'll be honest with y'all, I don't anticipate a whole lot of part uses on this one. And I guess, that was wrong. We do actually have parts called these. Well, he has all the same removable parts as everybody else does. But apparently, good luck getting them apart. Oh my god. Ah, there we go. The waist came up. It does look like that stuff is the same. At least on here it is. I am not going to try to force the arms or the legs out of here this time, to be honest with you. And Roboto's card has a nice picture of him blowing shit up. And on the back, Roboto, the heroic mechanical warrior, built by Man-at-Arms. Roboto's battlefield experience is underestimated, but as the castle is attacked by Triclops and his duplicating creatures, Roboto takes it upon himself to become battle ready, helping guide the heroic warriors to victory. Alright. I guess I was right. He did armor himself up. So we have here his gun, and again, this was the thing with shoulder cannon. Can go on either one of the shoulder holes. It can also fit actually in his hand here. Oh my god. I think it's safe to assume that this... Ugh. Alright, so here's the fist. We do have up and down articulation on it. That is definitely a much, much thicker peg than what we got on the other figures. Unfortunately, his gun here is actually angled weird. It might be a bit unfortunate that this goes on here like this and not actually like on the armor body somewhere back here instead. Because that means whenever he moves that arm, the cannon moves too. Oh, articulation is going to be real fun on this figure. I can tell you that right now. So this Roboto, though, is basically missing every other gimmick that Roboto has had in the previous forms. So the mouth doesn't open at all or move at all. Nothing inside moves. You know, we used to have it so that if you spin him, the gears would move in here. And while it does look like while they do have the gears in there, nothing moves. It's just the clear body and that there. Huge bit of empty space down at the bottom. So that's kind of disappointing. I guess all the money went into the size of this thing, which I'm already having some issues with it. So let's talk about it. So the head is on a ball joint and spins around and moves pretty much like any normal head does. Big old open space there, little tiny space there. So this is all pretty normal here at the head. When we get to the arms, we can spin it around in a full 360. This part here appears to be attached in some way that keeps it from moving separately really from the rest of it, which is unfortunate because we can only move his arm up so far. Can't even get a fully extended arm. We can spin it around, but even doing this kind of feels a bit wonky. The elbow is where we got lots of problems though, from what I've noticed. So his elbow can bend only that far. Now, if you look here, clearly there's a lot more room there for him to move it, but because of the size of the biceps and the forearm, he can't do it. It only bends that far. So if you do want him holding the gun, like his gun outward, now by the fact that it also isn't long enough to see, they really need to make this a little bit longer because you have to have it there. So then in order for it to fire straight, it has to be up that high because you can't move the elbow any more than that. The hand does move in 360 here, and there is up and down articulation on the wrist here, same as this wrist. So he could potentially hold his magic sword aloft at this angle if he had one, which he doesn't. That's also unfortunate, is that he doesn't have his axe weapon like previous Robotos do. We can spin the waist. Oh man. You know, I'm not going to lie. It actually feels like instead of the stuff spinning on this figure with these legs, it actually feels like we're just bending that little bar in there when we try to kick him forward or back. And kicking out's fine. But you know, when I try to push it like that, it just flings back. It's not moving at all on the joint. It's literally, you're just bending the plastic bar when you do that. That is a shame. That could be a thing with my figure, but I doubt it. This is probably a issue with the construction of this thing, like everything else. I mean, they are trying to make him as accurate as possible, and he looks great. But stuff just is not moving right. So we get to the knee. Oh, that knee's backwards. Huh. Okay. So that knee was on backwards, or it might have been the wrong knee altogether. So you can get about a 90-degree cut here out of that. That works pretty good. Actually, that works spectacularly, really, compared to the other stuff. Oh. His other knee is like fused. So I'm not bending that one anytime soon, unless I heat it up first and see if that helps. But I'm not so sure about that. This guy, he really does feel like he's going to break at any moment. We can spin at the foot here. Again, I don't want to try to force that out because it sounds like it feels way too difficult. And I'm already very concerned about this figure. The foot does have a hinge here. Let's try that. Let's look at this foot. So we can move the foot like that and like that only. We do have a pin, so we can spin it around. But he has really little in the line of foot articulation. You know, the crazy part about this is this Roboto for the 2000X cartoon collection is actually taller than the Roboto for the Masterverse collection. That is crazy. And he's just the same standard price as the Deluxe. Maybe that's why he doesn't have any like action feature inside of him, is because he's so big, all the cost went to the size. But man, that is nuts. And you can see him here compared to the size of the previous vintage style Roboto. He is absolutely ginormous. So he's going to be a great display piece. I'll honestly say that, but as far as playability goes, at least on my copy, it's practically non-existent because just trying to move this guy is such a pain. The one leg, like I said, it feels like the knee is totally fused. I'll have to heat it up to see if I can get it to come loose. Trying to pull those parts off doesn't work well. The hip joints are really terrible. So like I said, I wouldn't want to move those too much because I'm afraid it's going to snap the plastic, because you are still just bending that plastic bar in there and not actually moving it along the joints. Now, maybe that is something that will be fixed by heating them up. I don't know for sure if it will or not. I'm not particularly hopeful in this case though, to be honest. But damn, I would definitely recommend him if you're just displaying your collection because he is freaking badass. I also would like to see them go ahead and release the Roboto in his smaller form, like his original form. I think that'd be pretty cool too. And it could be just a regular size figure. But you know what? I still want the damn sorceress before any of that crap. Like, and I know the sorceress will probably be deluxe for the wings, especially if they make good wings for her. And you know, every so often I just rant about the lack of a sorceress. I was so excited when the rumor had been going around that she's going to be part of that fourth wave of figures that I'm absolutely heartbroken that she isn't. But why don't you guys let me know what you think of this figure in the comments below, and if you did enjoy this review and the problems I had, please feel free to blast that like button. And if you want to hear more of my nonsense in the future, you can subscribe. Perhaps you'll want to tap on that notification bell a little. I thank you for watching. Peace and love.